I got stuff for you.
Holy moly. I need to get some snakes and release them around my house.
But they love eating people. They love eating kids.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
Every day that you open your mouth,
I know, right?
I'm more convinced that you're abducted by aliens.
No.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
These are idiots.
I was laughing reading this because I already knew how you would feel.
Idiot. What part of the story fits your balloon?
Well,
This isn't a UFO. But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Oh, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
Well, everyone, I think we know exactly what it is. So say it all with me. It was the sandhill crane.
Would you try it?
No.
You wouldn't eat it?
No.
Why?
Because they're probably toxic. There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree. Almost forgot. Welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. It's season 8.
Wow, we made it.
Woo!
Another one.
Another one. I am the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I'm J Clone 250.
Ooh,
Yeah,
scary.
250.
Scary.
Oh, I'm that one.
Trying to be, what is that called? Zesty? Is that what the kids call it?
Maybe sassy?
No, I think it's zesty now.
Oh,
But what I know, it was sassy when I think we were in school.
yeah?
But I think that is termed zesty now. Any of our younger listeners, let us know.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I have no idea. I have gray hair and you're bald, so
I don't think I'm too zesty no more.
no. I mean, no, you are. No, I think you can be. Especially like D&D night.
Yeah, but I still don't know what zesty means.
You were pretty bad.
Is that zesty?
I think it's like playful bad.
Ooh, I can be that.
Like not like actually bad, but like
Chaotic good?
chaotic
Or
neutral.
neutral, huh?
Chaotic neutral.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Fair enough.
So do you know what today's season opener is?
I don't. You've been teasing me for like a month, saying
This
you're not
is-
going to tell me.
This is one that we've talked about forever. And our good friend Jeb at the Backwoods Boogeyman podcast that does a lot of art for us now,
Uh-huh.
he did custom art for the season opener.
Ah, you guys seeing this new custom
So
art? Check it out. Check
they
out
are-
your screens.
We are doing Spring-Heeled Jack
Ah,
and other like super paranormal people.
okay.
So there's a couple of things that fall into like the Spring-Heeled Jack category.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about Spring-Heeled Jack before, so we got a
Yeah.
little bit about Spring-Heeled Jack, the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, that kind of stuff.
Madagascar Mattoon?
The Mad Gasser
Oh.
of Mattoon, which is in the U.S.
Uh-oh.
Where they're just kind of like super powered paranormal people, though.
Huh. Not like the anesthesiologist that lived in Lima, right next to us?
No,
He was a mad gasser.
that was a little different.
Yeah, that was
you
murder.
you had to go into his office for that.
No, he did it to his family, remember?
No,
You don't remember that?
no, I wasn't it. No, I don't remember this.
He blocked off, he gassed his
show.
family.
Family show.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Really bad. Because it was on that Investigation Discovery channel, and we were watching it with my dad, and it was like, Lima, Ohio. And we're like, what? And then we looked it up, and yeah, it was bad.
Was it Dahmer that lived in Bath for a little bit?
Yeah, right down the road. I mean, you know how to breed them here, I guess.
Well, he wasn't from here. He
He
spent,
moved
like,
here.
His dad, they were only here for like 3 or 4 years,
Maybe even.
but his first kill may have been in Bath.
Oh, that's scary.
And that they think it could have been what triggered him into it because it was his childhood friend.
Okay. Let's get back to the supernatural folks.
It could be anything from demonic. There's a lot of weirdness with Spring-Heeled Jack.
Okay. Is that our first one we're kicking off with?
Yeah, we're going to start with Spring-Heeled Jack. And that's the art. So if you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't.
You are a Victorian lady, and I am swinging through the air like Spring-Heeled Jack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I'm hunting you.
Is Spring-Heeled Jack, now that's Jack the Ripper, right?
No,
It's not. Okay,
No.
so these are different.
these are different.
Okay.
Jack the Ripper was not Spring Hill Jack.
Why did I have
I
that?
don't know if he was, actually.
I just had that association in my head for some reason.
Well, they're both in England. They both have Jack in the name. They both
Maybe that's
attacked
why.
women.
Okay, fair enough. So, yes, same.
I mean, they're very different.
No.
But they do have, like, a lot of core traits.
Okay.
A lot of Spring Hill Jack's victims, though, lived.
Oh, okay.
Like, he wasn't, like, murdering people. He was very, well, you'll get it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Throughout history, and I'm using stuff from Mysterious Universe.
Okay.
Actually, Marcus Loweth wrote most of this articles that I'm using.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. I like to give, shout out when I'm using stuff. But within the mind, the best place to start for these kind of creatures would be Victorian England with the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack. And with my weird way I talk, I say it like healed, as in like he was healed,
Okay.
not healed. Heeled.
Like on your feet, heel.
His heel of his foot.
Yeah, spring-heeled Jack.
Yes, because of his jumping ability.
Oh, okay. Spring-heeled Jack.
However, don't be under any illusions. These encounters with strange, mysterious figures were very real. So much real, they became a genuine public enemy #1 throughout the country.
Ooh.
There was manhunts, like hundreds of thousands of people were looking out for Spring-Heeled Jack. So these are, like, what I find fascinating about this is the infamy he got, or these entities get, but they were, like, but I think modern day we think of them as mythical creatures or mythical encounters or stories.
Yeah.
No, they happened. The things that we're going to talk about happened. The women that were attacked or died, several women did die. This happened, and it's always been crazy to me that
Bizarre.
you hear some podcasts or TV shows or stuff that go into these, and they kind of just talk about them like they're talking about unicorns, which are real, but you know, that mythical
Like it's
aura to
just
them.
a fictional story, basically.
There are, though, many suggestions of what have surfaced over the years, explaining many encounters with the potentially ominous weird figures, ranging from bizarre strings of hoaxes, ritual connections with secret societies, and even stranger yet, some figures of some kind of standard extraterrestrial, ultra-terrestrial. So let's talk about it. In the 1830s, there was accounts of Spring-Heeled Jack began to surface, initially from the streets of London. The first official encounter with Spring-Heeled Jack unfolded in February of 1838 from 25-year-old Jane Ostlop heard a knock at her front door of her London home. So it's late at night, you hear a knock. It's 1838. What do? You're Jane.
Well, I'd lean over and I'd light my candle,
Yes,
and then I'd approach the door
she did. She went to the door
and say, "Who
and
is
she
it?"
pulled it open. Not at all prepared for what kind of monstrosity waited for her at her doorstep.
Okay.
In front of her was a tall, gaunt figure that wore a cape while sporting giant claw-like hands with eyes that glowed as if they were blazing balls of fire.
Oh, that's just great.
So this tall, gaunt figure with hands, but they had giant, like she was describing the fingers, either they were all claws
Yeah.
or they were so long and sharp they were extremely claw-like, like
Yeah.
that of an owl,
Gosh.
with glowing balls of fire for eyes. But very humanoid. It still wore a cape and the hat and everything like that. So whether it was actually a humanoid or it was trying to dress enough like a humanoid to pass off by passerbys. So yeah, giant claws. Then the already bizarre moment turned even more surreal when a burst of blue and white flames spew out of the figure's mouth at her. So it opened its mouth and go, and shoots white and blue fire out of it.
Like David Lopan shooting the light out of its eyes and mouth.
She later stated in her report that the menacing figure was wearing a tight-fitting costume and that had an oily texture and had looked like it was a fishbowl on its head.
Ugh. Fishbowl.
So let's re-talk about that.
Yeah.
So underneath the top hat and the cape,
Right.
it seemed to be wearing a tight-fitting costume. So at this time, we would call it like a skin suit.
Like a scuba diver suit.
That could be that, but like a latex suit or something adhering to its skeletal structure.
Right.
And it seemed to be oily. And it had to appear to be a fishbowl, her best description. So like you already said, like a dive suit would be a very good explanation.
A fishbowl with a hat on it?
Yeah, like it was attached.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it was odd. The whole thing's odd.
What's that good dude from Spider-Man, Mysterio?
It does give some Mysterio vibes.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
1938 Mysterio. The news of her encounter spread through newspapers. Other previously dismissing sightings came to light. So, a lot of people before her had seen him or ran into him, and maybe not as a direct fashion. And were like, after she came out and was like, this was horrible, this beast. And other people, I guess we've seen it too.
Okay.
So whether it's the mania or if it really is people that had seen it and just were so scared. I mean, we talk about it with Bigfoot and everything else. It's easier to talk about your sighting when somebody else is the first one.
Yeah. Breaks the ice.
Yes. So if you've seen, it's 1830s London. You've seen this very humanoid, but still very, very odd entity. Would you talk about it right away, or it didn't hurt? Like, if it didn't actually physically hurt or attack you, just scared the bejesus out of you?
Well, I'd probably tell my family or something.
You're a woman in 1980 or 1880s.
1830s.
1830s.
Yeah.
You're a woman
I
in
don't know.
1830s. If you told your family that,
It's hard to put myself
you would definitely be shipped away.
I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of a
Or
woman
beaten.
in the 1830s. It's hard because I don't know.
You weren't allowed to think or talk.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of hard.
So you've seen a monster and you just put your head down and be like, yes, have a good day, sir.
My gosh. What would you do? What'd you do? Slam the door shut?
There were some very strong women, though, in the 1830s, but they had a lot of money.
Okay. I mean,
They had to.
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so newspapers. So perhaps one of the earliest occurred late on one night in September of 1837. The night in question, an unnamed businessman was returning home along the Burnins Common. After working late, an extremely tall figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere, as if he was a ghost in the night. So this is he's unnamed, but from description of the guy and art of the guy at the time, he was like a normal, pretty hefty guy. And he just like this gaunt, tall, massive figure just appears out of nowhere. As if he had being patrolled on a springboard, he said.
Or propelled, maybe?
Yeah, propelled on a springboard. It's like he was gliding or flying.
Yeah.
And we talk about this with even like Bigfoot sightings modern day and, other paranormal, but they don't seem like they're walking.
Like floating?
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen those Russian dancers?
Yes. It's very...
In the dresses? That's so cool. It looks like they're floating across the stage.
Yes, it is very... It's magical to watch.
It is. It's really neat.
Interesting, though, much like Miss Jane's report several months later, the witness claimed that the figure had glowing red eyes straight from the bowels of hell.
So I wonder if it's... you think they're describing the same eyes as the balls of fire eyes from before?
That's what he feels. That's what a lot of people feel like.
Yeah.
It's just like they look like they're glowing with fire. Fire and brimstone.
Ooh. What color is brimstone?
Well, if it's hot, red.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not white hot?
I don't think brimstone turns white, does it?
I have no idea.
Every depiction of brimstone I've ever seen is red, but does not mean it's right. Like in Minecraft and in other games, it's red.
Oh, true, yeah. I guess I don't even know exactly what brimstone is. I just know it. I always say it after fire.
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe
trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations. We just got the definition of tribulation the other day. Anyways, around the same time, a servant named Mary, Mary Stevens, if you want to know her full names, had her own encounter in Clapham Commons. I don't know how it's actually pronounced, but it's spelled Clapham.
Okay.
Clapham, probably.
Maybe,
Clapham.
Yeah. Rackham Willie.
Clapham Commons. She was returning to her place of employment in Lavender Hill area in the city after visiting her parents when a very, very tall man suddenly appeared in front of her. Again, it's just like instantly. They're just there.
Like, bam.
Yeah. So you're Mary. It's late at night. You're walking by yourself, and there's just now this tall, massive figure. That's why I had him do you in the dress.
Ah, okay. I'm Mary.
Yes. He then proceeded to wrap his arms around her before releasing her when she screamed as loudly as she could.
Okay.
Strangely, though, Mary couldn't recall where the figure had vanished to. It was simply as if one minute he was there and the next minute he was gone.
Okay.
So Mary's she's looking up at this like lamppost tall creature. Instantly, he wraps his massive arms and claws around her, like he's hugging her or he's going to pick her up and run away with her. She screams and kicking it, and then he just drops her. And then she takes off, and he's just not there.
Minus the fishbowl head and the hat thing, Do you ever see that cartoon, the Death Note one? That entity, that thing?
The anime Death Note?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't.
An uagami, something like that.
I don't know. I just remember seeing. I never actually watched it.
Yeah.
But I remember
An
seeing the
irigami,
previews
something
and
like that.
it's origami. I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay. But I'm.
Umagami.
It's just what I just looked it up the picture just now. Just for some reason that kept popping in my head.
Raja.
It's got the tall. He's like a tall, lanky, with like clawed hands.
Which one? They all look different.
Oh, they do?
All of the. So
Okay.
they're the death gods.
Well, it's the one that this guy, right? The one
He's the main one.
yeah, the main one. So whatever his name is, Ryuk.
Ryuk, yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
likes
what it says here.
apples. Is
Oh,
his
okay.
favorite.
Well, that's what I don't know why I'm picturing that in my head.
So there you go. These are death demons.
Maybe I don't know why, but I never even seen the show, but that popped in my head.
On the very same evening as Mary's encounter, though, almost in the same location, the creature appeared again, this time in front of an oncoming horse and carriage.
Oh,
So this massive...
it's just standing there in
Yeah.
front of him.
As a result, the horse bolted in fear, as a horse would, causing the carriage to crash. Then, with multiple witnesses watching, the figure jumped over a 9-foot wall, clearing it with ease.
Dang.
So this giant thing is standing there, blah, 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 blah. A horse, crash. Everybody's like, and there's 4 or 5 people watching this thing, and then it goes, boing,
Boing. Jumps over.
and it made the noise, boing.
Yeah, boing.
In fact, only the night before Jane's sighting, 18-year-old Lucy Scales was walking home when she claimed a strange tall figure appeared out of nowhere with blue flames coming out of his mouth that temporarily blinded her.
Well, it really is like David Lopan.
Following Jane's report, combined with these previous sightings now being widely reported, the moniker of Spring Hill Jack first began to spread around in popular. The mayor of London, Sir Jim Covell, stated publicly that Spring Hill Jack was a public enemy number 1.
Wow. He's on the FBI's most wanted list.
At the time, yeah. Following this, several members of nobility and other influential figures at the time offered their own significant rewards to anybody who could capture this curious figure. So a bunch of the nobility and some other just public figures were like, I'll give you 4,000 pounds if you can catch him.
I wonder if, what if he was like an escaped creature from like the royal family?
Hold on to that.
Okay.
There are people with that line of thought.
Because why would they, first of all, give it the attention like this is number 1, like public enemy number 1. If it wouldn't, like, they already knew about it.
And Jack was just a common name. That's why they like Jack the Ripper.
Right, yeah.
Spring Hill Jack. So it's like Jane Doe here.
Yeah, you call anyone a Jack, like hey, Jack
Jack
over there, yeah. Which I can understand that.
But yeah, so they offered, yeah. Moreover, though, many people from all walks of life looked to bag the strange figure to reward for themselves. So now he's attacked women, several different women.
Mhm.
We'll talk about some of him. He really likes women. He doesn't go about it the best way.
Mm.
So there's some assault that happens specifically towards women.
Mm.
And so now there's a righteous manhunt for him. But there's also several large rewards for his capture. So the city of London just turns into an all-out manhunt for this mysterious creature. So there's people, like there was some stories I was reading where women said you couldn't walk without seeing like a man in front of you, behind you, hunting for him. Like you could never not be seeing 2 Spring Hill Jack hunters at night when you're walking. But they felt safer.
Heck yeah.
Spring Hill Jack still attacked people during that time.
Really?
Yes.
We'd sneak through the cracks?
Oh yeah, no, she'd be like, the one girl will talk about, like when she ran to the corner, he was right there, like in between all these people.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so other influential figures offered money to capture him. Even a 70-year-old Duke of Wellington attempted to apprehend the strange figure, even engaging in several cat and mouse chases with him before ultimately having to give up and admit defeat. So there's a 70-year-old Duke of Wellington is out there chasing him with a big net.
Yeah.
And he sees him.
And a big net.
He sees him. Yeah. And then Spring Hill Jack. So there were many, many encounters with him. And they never got caught. And then there's many gaps. Like years and years and years.
Oh, years?
Yeah, I mean, all the way into like the 1900s. So over 100 years of, it would be for
This
15
phenomena.
years.
Yeah.
There'd be nothing. And then he'd hop and then he'd attack a couple more women. A couple of the women, he would like rip the front of their dresses off to expose their breast.
Okay.
That was a very big thing for several of the Spring Hill Jack encounters. He would grab women very, very inappropriately. It seemed to just be a giant paranormal pervert.
A GPP.
A GPP.
Is that what we're going to title this episode?
If we remember.
Giant paranormal pervert. Yeah, I think that'll go great. Season 8.
Season 8
Opener.
Giant paranormal pervert.
That's probably not a bad idea.
It's catchy.
It is.
So yeah, the one lady, like seriously, she was almost to her house. So she ran into this alley and he had like not ran into this alley. She was going to her house.
Right.
But she was saying that she had seen men, in front of her, behind her, and she turned the corner. And when she hopped in, he hopped down into the alley. So she didn't know if he was running along this like 11-foot tall walkway.
Well, yeah,
and just
alongside
hopped
her.
down.
Yeah.
And he grabbed her, ripped the front of her dress off. She screamed. A lady in the house off to her right opened the door, seen him, and screamed, "It's Spring Hill Jack!" And she said you could just see the lights coming from all over trying to get this guy.
Yeah.
And he shoves the woman down, and then he jumps, and you just hear him laughing as he jumps and flies away.
Oh, wow.
Not actually flying away,
But
but
he
like
jumps
leaping.
away.
Yeah.
Like the Incredible Hulk.
And the lady actually did die.
Oh, what happened to her?
Fear of death. She was scared to death.
She got scared half to death twice?
No, it was very scary, and she died of a heart attack.
Okay.
But there was many encounters like that, and then he would disappear and come back, disappear and come back. Any questions about that so far?
No, it's pretty wild.
Early on the morning, so now we're going to jump ahead quite a bit.
Like years or...
Years, decades.
Okay. Where are we at now?
The early morning of February 8th, 1955.
So 120 years?
Yes, ish.
Ish.
The headmaster of Thompson School in Dover, Albert Brailsford, opened his front door to find it snowed heavy the night before. Of more interest to him, however, there appear to be hoof prints in an otherwise unbroken white blanket. To begin with, Bradford thought he was looking at the footprints of a horse. Perhaps one had broke free in the stables during the night storm. However, when he examined the prints, he could see that there were only 2 tracks, meaning whatever had made them was a bipedal and the opposite of a 4-legged creature. So he's looking for a bipedal creature with hoofs. Sound like anybody you know?
A few.
The devil from the Bible.
The Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil from the Bible. Even stranger, the tracks went off in a perfect straight line, suggesting whoever or whatever had made them hopped along instead of walking. So you ever seen like rabbits in the snow, their tracks where they're hopping?
Yeah.
That's what he's describing.
Oh, okay.
It's not walking through the snow. It's
Hopping.
hop, and they're parallel every time they're hopping.
The steps are.
The steps are.
Interesting.
So whether it's jumping and landing, like
Yeah.
Spring Hill Jack,
Yeah.
some people suggested, like you already mentioned, like the Jersey Devil flying and landing. Maybe it was
okay.
knocked down from the storm and it couldn't fly.
Well, my friend Chris on our bowling team,
Mhm.
he has a grandson, and he just learned to walk, but he hops more so than runs.
Yeah.
And he gets going, but he hops just like his
Like a
feet are in
little kangaroo.
parallel. Yeah.
Yeah. Still stranger still. Brailsford believed that the prints were so deep they almost seemed to be as if whatever made them had branded itself into the snow, as if something was hot, and that was his assertion. Keep in mind, this is 1955. I have no evidence of this.
Yeah.
But he said it was so weird because they didn't seem like they were that heavy, but they were burnt all the way to the bottom. So his only thought they're that
Heat.
hot.
Yeah.
Now, Brailsford began to follow the tracks, soon joined by other members of the community. So he's following these tracks. It's so weird. As he's walking and following them, other people had noticed this separately and started following these tracks as well.
Okay.
So by this time, though, there's dozens of people walking and following these tracks. That's how odd it is. That enough people are like,
It's a trap.
this is weird.
It's leading them all.
Eventually, the crowd, they came to a stop in front of a large wall. Although the snow was disturbed on top of the wall, the townsfolk looked over to the other side. They could see the tracks carried on as if they were made by something jumping over the wall or phasing through the wall.
Yeah.
Managed to clear it without disturbing the snow on top of the wall. So if it had jumped clean over the wall. It didn't crawl over the wall.
But I thought you said the snow was disturbed or something.
Wasn't disturbed.
Oh,
I
was
misspoke.
not disturbed.
Sorry.
Okay.
Rumors then began to swiftly say the devil himself had made his journey across Dover's countryside that night, while others were saying it was the return of Spring Hill Jack.
Guess who's back? Back again.
It's Jack.
Spring Hill Jack.
Warn your friends.
Yes.
The following week, a report of strange tracks appeared in the Times newspaper, resulting in a fury of theories suggesting that who or what was responsible for them. Although many people suggested the tracks were clearly being made by some kind of roaming animal, many others suggested they weren't satisfied. They didn't know what animal, how many people were. What animal? How could this animal leap over a 10-foot high fence and not disturb the top? And there's even tracks across the roof of a 2-story house in its pathway.
Okay. And just went right up over it or through it?
Right up over it.
Okay.
Like, it was walking like it was made by a giant paranormal hoofed turtle.
Yeah. Straight line.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what do you think of that?
And this was the 50s?
Yeah, and I'll jump back again.
Dang. I mean, that's pretty wild. It does sound like Spring Hill Jack. Like, it sounds like the going up and over, but if he did, if not phasing through, it could be something else. But we've heard the footprints before, not just in UK either. Like over here,
No, it
in
happened
America.
in Jersey.
But there's that one. It's happened down in Hawken Hills.
Oh, I'm talking about the hoofed ones.
Okay, well, wasn't there hoof prints outside of TJ's cabin?
Oh yeah, but they weren't like a long trail of them. They were just underneath the windows. But yes, you're right. But I was thinking of like there was that one that was like 11 or 12 miles long. That was in. I think that was in New Jersey.
That's wild. Imagine I wouldn't even want to follow those after like mile 2. It'd be like, okay.
So according to an article in the London Morning Post, we're going to jump back to 1877.
Okay.
At the military outpost in Albertshot, several guards opened fire on a strange figure whose appearance was extremely similar to Spring Hill Jack. So the original encounters were 1838. Now we're in 1877. They're at a military outpost.
Okay.
And they just see this Spring Hill Jack, 11 foot tall, clawed hands, glowing red eyes, fishbowl head. And they just open fire at it, as you should.
Yeah, well, I want to know what happened.
Despite hitting the figure square on, they said. They could see it hitting, and they would even say sometimes sparks would fly off it and stuff like that when they were hitting it. It simply bounded away unhurt, laughing. Moreover, there was not any blood or any signs that the figure had been wounded whatsoever. Now, what does that remind you of?
Skinwalker.
No, where it sounds like metal or something is being hit, and it just runs away. A bunch of little things didn't hit. That was a season opener.
Yeah, hold on. Why am I blanking on it?
One of my daughters has a middle name based all around the family.
Is it Hopkinsville Goblins?
Yeah, the Suttons.
Yeah.
Remember they said they would ting?
Yeah, and they even
said
said
sparks.
Yeah, the sparks. That's what it was. Didn't the one lady drive through or hit one with her car?
No.
What's that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was someone else, like paranormal, like ghost thing. They drove through the and it sparked on their car.
Yes, that was it was Ghost in the Cornfield, I think is what that one was in. I don't know.
Either way, I mean, same kind of phenomena, I guess.
Yeah. So the Hopkinsville Goblins, when they were being shot at, they said sparks would come off.
Yeah.
Whether they were hitting metal is what they assumed, but it may not have been. It may have been more paranormal. Just that's the byproduct.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it ran away, unhurt. One of the guards was later quoted saying the strange figure was no ordinary mortal, whatever it was. Several months later, reports came from an almost identical figure from Newport in Lincolnshire. Each sighting resulted in several residents off their respective towns opening fire on the strange creature, which then jumped exceptionally high to escape laughing.
Nice.
I just picture like a Green Goblin laugh.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know what the laugh was actually like.
It's a hyena laugh.
It had to be something sinister. What if it was just like
goofy?
Yeah, and runs away. I guess I wouldn't be as scared then. Like, you got that little rascal scared. Got away
in 1830, and you just hear that, and the creature's flying away. I'd be more scared.
I guess maybe. Or what if he sound like Tigger? I don't even know what Tigger says. Oh gosh, bouncing away like Tigger.
Before we continue, if you want to take your kid fishing here in Ohio, where should you go?
The Future Anglers of Indian Lake, Ohio. Check them out, especially check out their Facebook page. Do we even have links on our website even yet?
Oh, maybe not on our website, but there are links below.
Yeah, there's links below in the episode description box. But yeah, they do a great job of collecting gear and resources for kids and for you to help take your kid and get them out there fishing and get them the knowledge to start fishing. It's a great program. Future Anglers of Indian Lake, Ohio. Check out their Facebook page.
And what would you season the fish you catch with?
Ooh, well, now if you get out there and they give you a pole and you reel in a nice smallmouth bass and you want to season her up real good, I would reach in the cabinet and reach for Flavors of the Forest, Bigfoot Breath. It's freeze-dried garlic seasoning, and they have a whole line of flavors. You can find this at Cryptids or Flavors Forest /corn. Flavors Forest /corn, and get you a bottle with our discount code. I'm telling you, this is the best seasoning you can put on food. If you're a garlic lover, this is the ultimate #1 garlic powder on the market. I mean, nothing will beat it. And it's Bigfoot themed. It's Bigfoot themed. It doesn't get no better than that. So flavorsforest.com /corn. Get you some Flavors of the Forest, Bigfoot Breath. There's garlic seasoning.
And we're back. Yay. Just over a quarter of a century later, in 1904, the Everton district of Liverpool, hundreds of residents reported seeing a bizarre creature that was jumping from one roof to another. So it's 1904. You just see this flaming-eyed, spitting fire monster jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah.
Yet another sighting unfolded, several decades later in 1920. In Warrington, I think is how you'd say it. Several people reported seeing a figure with a white radiant costume.
Okay.
It's a giant white neon jumpsuit. Repeatedly jumping off the path of the roof from the Central Railway Station. I can't say that. Central Railway Station.
There you go.
There we go. Eventually jumping over the station and disappearing.
It's an engine.
A what?
An engine.
Oh. I did not know what I thought you said, but I thought it was not good.
An engine. The white.
Yes. It means human.
But
I know
in Japan,
it's a cryptid.
Yeah.
It's in the Southern Pacific.
I mean, it's not a white jumpsuit. The thing is white. It's an engine.
It was the anti-Spring-Hill Jack hunting the Spring-Hill Jack.
Maybe you might be onto something.
There was also several tentative reports of a figure with a remarkable appearance to the Spring-Hill Jack spotted in the Shufordfield district in the late 1970s. While the sighting was almost certainly a case of a person perhaps making themselves look like Spring-Hill Jack for no other reason than for their own amusement. That's a good way to get shot.
Look like this supernatural demon killer.
When all the people were dressing up as clowns.
Yeah.
And they were walking around in the woods out here.
That was just dumb.
You're going to get shot.
Yeah. That was weird. What a weird thing.
It was, yeah. Given the amount of time of the sighting stretch, well over 100 years, it is, probably not possible that this creature is a human.
Yeah.
At least a human.
Right.
Assuming that it's, maybe it has an exceptionally long life, it may actually still be a creature. But, 100, let's see, it's well over 100, from 1830s to, let's say, at least 1920s for the actual Spring-Hill Jack encounters.
Okay.
I went into the 70s, but that one seemed to just be a guy because it didn't do nearly as many of the miraculous things that it did.
The jumping feats.
Yeah. It was just a guy dressed up because he wanted to touch women.
Wearing moon shoes.
Moon shoes!
Moon shoes. You remember those commercials?
Yeah, I had a pair of moon shoes.
We did too.
Actually, there may still be a pair of moon shoes upstairs.
I think ours are out in the barn still, but they're pretty well dry rotted.
Yeah. So, with this last point in mind, what could the creature be? So there's a bunch of theories.
Okay.
So what do you think before I get into anything?
I'm assuming everything is canon. It's all real. Let's just say all the stories are.
So what I'll tell you is, at least out of the stories I've told you, with 99% certainty, these all happened.
Did happen, yeah.
Many eyewitnesses. It freaked people out so much to no end. There was royalty and public figures
involved, yeah.
Like there was people hunting it, especially in the earlier reports.
Yeah.
There were thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people at some points looking for a Spring-Hill Jack. So it did happen. Now, to was it an elaborate costume to, whatever. So
Yeah.
So yes, if it's all canon, this all happened as told
Right.
to newspapers.
To me, it's got to be some kind of supernatural, like demon spawn. I don't know, but I don't want to even say like it's that because it's not like a straight up killer or.
So as far as I could find, the only people that died, he did cut some women pretty deep.
Yeah.
With his claws.
Mhm.
And there were several women that died, but the women seemed to die of fright.
Rather than
Yeah, and the one woman that died, there was a report, and I didn't put it in this. There was a report of a woman that died that Spring Hill Jack seemed to be genuinely concerned. Like he was just supposed to scare her or just wanted to grab her breast.
Yeah.
And then she died, and he went. And then one of the guys that was like started to chase after him, like he was surprised that she died. But that's.
What's the average?
200 years ago.
What's the average age of the women he assaulted?
They fairly young. Not fairly young. Like, Victorian young housewives and maids.
Okay.
The men that he fought with almost all ran into him when they were hunting him.
Okay.
He almost never picked a fight with him. Not saying he just almost never picked a fight with a man unless the man picked the fight first.
Gotcha.
But he really liked younger women.
Well, now I'm just
He was a pervert. He was a pervert.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a demonic pervert.
Meaning, well, if that being the case, it's probably tied to the royal family then somehow because there's some connections there that Prince Andrew. Let's just put that for modern day example.
Oh, it's like he's 230 years old.
No, just saying the lineage, a lot of perversion in that royal house. So what if one of them like all it is just some member of the royal family that got into some occultic ritual stuff and turned himself into this demon so they can go assault people out in the street.
Okay, you're combining like 4 or 5 of my theories.
Well, I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's just like, no, so that the royal family angle or high nobility angle also was one that's pushed a lot because that's one thought line for Jack the Ripper. Was that he was like a duke's son or maybe even a duke himself. So he wasn't directly the royal family when you think of king, queen, princesses, but he was of royal blood and the royal family knew about it. And that's why it was covered up. And that's why he was never caught is because they couldn't afford that scandal. And that has been pushed out with this too, that it was a person of nobility, whether it was a business nobility at the time or the actual royal family nobility.
Or someone above even all them.
I mean, it's 1830, so I don't know how much there was there.
We don't know.
I don't know. I just said that. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm not arguing.
Oh, wait.
Drop it.
You're arguing about this? Oh, fine.
Power.
Dropped.
What was I saying?
I don't know. I threw you off on a little tangent, but we were talking about the royal family connection and...
Oh, that... so he may be like Spring Hill Jack may have been a costume wearing, wanting to touch women.
The only thing that throws me off of just being a costume wearing person is the jumping feats. Now, unless they had access to some kind of technology.
Now, so some people really thought that he just had big springs on his feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that technology actually exists. It's like,
well, we have those things now. Those little, almost like pogo stick kind of. Like people like paraplegic people who get, or not paraplegic, or would it be when they get like below their knee cut, like amputated or something? They have like those almost spring like
the running
ones, but they're at like those weird angles.
Yes, they're running legs.
They make those where for people that don't have that aren't paraplegic, like
so you can run and jump.
Yeah, run and jump, but it's that same shape, but they're huge, like spring-loaded, bouncy things.
The other thought is that everybody was so scared that the powers may have been exaggerated.
Yeah.
He may have just been wearing like tall shoes and stuff like that. And then there is like street magic that can cause that. I had the chemical pulled up, but like you can make that fire.
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen magic paper?
Yeah, flash paper.
Flash paper.
My pastor used to do it in church.
Like,
yeah.
So that they were just using that to just really scare women.
So is it just a magician?
Yeah.
It's an eccentric, perverted magician.
but royal family.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing you talked about is the occultic angles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people talked about this being a human that did occultic practices,
Yeah.
or this being an occultic figure that was summoned.
Okay. Because, I mean, even the occultic, too, can get a little, you say that, it's like dark and dangerous or scary, you know.
Occultic means hidden knowledge.
Correct.
Occult means hidden knowledge.
Yes. And
I'm not saying it's good.
no, exactly. Yes. But like Native Americans and the Skinwalker, you know, it's the same thing. It's occultic.
Because, I mean, the Navajo and the Utes don't really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's occultic. It's hidden knowledge from us.
Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, people with access to stuff, it's a whole hidden world that none of us are privy to, but I know it exists. We know that occultic side of the world exists. So I wouldn't put it beyond me, or I would believe it. I would believe it that this is some kind of ritual thing, either summoned or like Skinwalker, you're transformed into, and you may be more beast-like. Maybe you're bringing something into your body. You're summoning it into yours and transforming into this thing where you're becoming this beast or creature, and you can't really consciously control yourself. I don't know, but it's got these perverted urges.
So I have an idea that this is actually maybe not quite fae, not demonic, but another supernatural being that's associated with human culture, the human zeitgeist.
Okay.
Because it was still humanoid, but it seemed to be portraying the beast in the bad of the time. Like this giant, without, sexual predator, but wasn't actually doing anything. The boogeyman. I kind of wonder if humans there's entities attached to humanity that are our boogeyman, the things that go bump in the night. They may not be evil creatures. I'm not saying they're good creatures, but they may not be evil. They just may be creatures that are associated with humanity. And I wonder if Spring Hill Jack was one of them.
Like a creature created in the subconscious or something?
That molds and changes.
With like the collective consciousness.
The fears.
Yeah.
And becomes that. And it becomes the boogeyman for whatever reason.
Backwoods boogeyman. This is
go.
one of them.
So with that line of thought, and then there's other people that think it was an alien, that he's been an alien visiting because everything with the tight oily suit and the fishbowl head makes him sound very, very alien.
That's odd, yeah.
Or interdimensional or stuff like that. And his glowing fiery eyes. There's people that say that there's probably lights, at the time when they were using oil gas lamps for like street lights and stuff. A bright, high-powered, even an LED light at the time would have just looked like the fires of hell.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I mean, from using an oil or a gas lamp.
A little flame, yeah.
Yeah. It would be intensely bright.
Yeah, for sure.
We're kind of spoiled with all the LED and all the stuff we have now and halogen.
Modern technology.
Imagine it was a halogen light. That's why the women died.
That's why they busted open?
No, because they've never seen a halogen light.
Oh, and they got...
it just...
scared them to death.
It burns!
Gosh, they do get hot.
No, but you drive down the road, it burns your face.
Oh, yeah. No, the blue bulbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh. Can't stand that. Then you flick it on, hey, turn your brights off, and then they really blind you.
The sun!
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think? If you had to pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's just a guy in a costume. I'll say that. I want to eliminate that off my list. I do think it's some kind of supernatural, I don't know if where I draw, what side of the fence I'm on, whether it's a summoned being or it's a human being that's converted themselves, or if it's just something interdimensional all entirely. I don't know. Some from somewhere else and just ended up here. I don't really know where to put my finger on this one.
So, with my idea, if this is, let's say, an actual creature, that maybe that's what one-offs are, is that they are the last of the creatures in the dark, the last of the things that humanity, this has been the time, I think, where most of them started dying out, just because they couldn't survive anymore. Whatever they feed on, whether it's human fear or whatever. It's just becoming impossible.
Yeah.
So if Spring Hill Jack ended around the 1930s, let's say 1930. Oddly enough, in 1933, it seemed like a different creature picked up the mantle of Spring Hill Jack here in America.
What would that be?
In December of 1933 and continuing into 1934 in Virginia. Several encounters with a seemingly similar figure to Spring Hill Jack started to unfold. Whether the bizarre occurrences are a connection to Spring Hill Jack or not remains a point of speculation. They were, though, it appears most certainly connected. Many of the features that present of a sickly sweet odor and were impressions of what looked like a woman in high-heeled shoes in many of the locations. Although some of the reports have surfaced in recent years, the majority of them appeared in newspapers at the time. The first report encountered around 10 p.m. on December 22nd, 1933. On the night in question, the town of Haymarket Town, Carl Huffman was at home with his family and his wife, and he claimed to have noticed an extremely strange odor starting to spread through their house. They're just sitting there. They start smelling a really, really weird odor. A moment later, she began to feel decidedly unwell. Like they're being like now there's something happening. Like I'm going to faint. Eventually, Mrs. Huffman decided to retire to the bed for that evening. So she's like, I got to go lay down.
Yeah.
The dad and the kids are still downstairs doing whatever. So she goes and lays down. Carl, meanwhile, remained downstairs. He suspected the strange smell was a result of a prankster, and he was intent on catching them. So he's outside like, where's these darn kids spraying poop spray in my house?
I've been there. Is that what the smell smelled like?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sickly sweet. So you ever smelled, well, you probably haven't, but like, formaldehyde is probably the one that most people smell.
It smelled
Not
bad.
super strong formaldehyde, the edge of formaldehyde. It smells sickly sweet, like when you're not standing over top of it, but you're standing in the room with it.
So or like in school when you're walking down the hallway towards the science room.
Yeah, that sickly sweet, like
I know what you're talking about.
Cleaner smell. Anyways, so he suspected it was a kid. To begin with, nothing out of the ordinary took place. Then around a half hour later, Carl noticed another wave of the intense odor seeping through his living room. At this point, he ventured outside and crossed over to his neighbor's house. Sorry, something moved outside the window. It scared me. I thought it was the mad gasser.
That's just me.
Mr. Henderson, in order to use his landline telephone to report the incident to police. So he went over. He's like, I gotta call the cops. And Mr. Henderson has a phone. I don't. So he went over to call the cops.
Okay.
A short time later, just before midnight, Officer Lemon, no joke, Lemon, arrived at Huffman's home. He searched around the property but didn't find anything suspicious or anything out of the ordinary. And after speaking with the family, he went on his way, confident that whoever or whatever had been outside their home is now gone. However, no more than an hour later, the intruder had returned. This time, with the consequences much worse to follow. One of Huffman's children, Alice, began complaining about having severe trouble breathing. The family called Dr. Driver, who promptly attended to the property. Worryingly, he had to utilize artificial respiration to fully revive her.
Oh, wow.
So he had to there's the pump bags.
Yeah, I was just say that or mouth to mouth.
I think it was a pump bag at the time.
Okay.
So he's like, she's that sickly.
Yeah.
Although she did eventually make a full recovery. While this was happening, Carl and another neighbor searched the immediate area, even claimed to see what appeared to be a man running through the area in the dark.
Ooh, busted.
Stranger still, they also discovered strange markings on the ground that appeared to be made by like a woman's high heel shoes, just massive.
That's what the prints they saw running away?
Like the prints that they could see, it looked like the best thing they could describe is a woman's high heel shoe. It had the front and then a big piercing thing into the ground.
Maybe that's a dew claw.
There you go. It's a dew claw.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, and still these impressions were discovered close to the windows where they determined the gas had entered the Huffman's homes.
Okay.
So underneath the windows where the gas was, they were getting These guys were standing there.
That's where they found the giant lady running away in her high heels.
Mm-hmm.
So the mad gasser was a lady, huh? Who would have thought? What a twist!
What a twist!
That was on. You ever see Robot Chicken when they did that? Probably
with
M. Night
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
So they see this giant appears to be a woman running away.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of who's a giant woman.
What's her name? Van Buren Bates. Anna Van Buren. No, Anna Bates. Anna Bates.
There you go. Anna Bates in heels was running around out here.
There we go.
Putting fart spray into people's houses.
Maybe she was just putting her cheeks up to the window and, if you were a giant though, like the BFG, imagine if he did that to your house. That would probably be
moving on.
It'd stink up the whole place.
So nothing happened for a couple days, but 2 days later, around 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve, Clarence Hall, along with his wife and 2 children, returned home after attending the evening church service. They soon had entered the property. They noticed a strong and extremely unpleasant smell that appeared to be intensifying as they were in the home.
Oh gosh!
So it's getting worse and worse
as they're in there.
Yeah.
Now, did anybody die from the mad gasser?
Let's get there.
Okay.
Clarence went about looking for the source of the odor, going from room to room, and as he did so, by the time he returned to the rest of the family, he had begun to feel really, really unwell. So he's walking, he's like just checking out, and he's like getting dizzy when he's coming back, and he's just like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
So much so that he started to really, really struggle to remain upright. So his wife kind of had to
he's about to faint.
Straighten him up.
Yeah.
Because he was getting ready to go down. Within a moment of venturing outside, however, the effects appeared to immediately wear off.
Okay.
So once he got fresh air in his lungs, he got air back to his head.
Gotcha.
As soon as he did, Hall reported what had happened to the police. So he went outside and he's like, this is bad. This is bad gas. Whatever's in this house is bad.
It's bad.
Police officers were dispatched to the property, as well as doctors, who immediately noticed a pungent, sweet smell in the air of the property. When police inspected the property, they discovered a nail was missing from one of the windows, leading them to determine that it's likely where the gas had been introduced into the Hall's property. So they pulled a nail out and put a tube in or something.
Must have been.
Well, that's what they think.
Right.
Leading them to determine that's where the gas what's more, neighbors told the police that they had seen a dark figure close to the home shortly before the family had returned home.
Okay.
So at first they just thought it was their neighbor.
Yeah.
But then they're like, well, he didn't get home until then. Then there was a dark figure walking back and forth around the house.
Mm-hmm.
We just thought it was Mr. Hall. Another strange incident unfolded 3 nights later on the evening of December 27th in Troutsville. That's where I would live, Troutsville.
Of course.
When Mr. Kelly noticed a car driving back and forth past his house.
Okay.
What is he doing?
Just seeing this car creeping back and forth?
As if someone was searching for something. Not long after, the now familiar to the police noxious gas seemed to be entering the property. One of the neighbors managed to note part of the license plate number, but it was not enough to start assisting with the investigation.
Okay.
So they only got a partial plate, so they really couldn't tell who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But before the gas started entering, there was a car driving back and forth as if it was searching for something. So whether that car, I've watched a lot of stuff with that car, whether he was dropping and picking off the mad gasser, or he's seen something weird. That was a lot of researchers think that the guy was just driving,
seen something weird,
and then couldn't really tell, and he's like, "Oh, I'm being weird."
Yeah,
and then drove off,
circling around. Yeah, I've kind of done that before.
Oh, I've seen you do it.
What?
Drive back and forth.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just picking.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, when? Like
all the time.
Give a good example, but I want to know. No, but I've done that before, especially like looking for our dogs. When our dogs used to travel, they would go on their little adventures. Mm-hmm. But I drive back and forth. That's out in the country too, so it's a little different. But still, even living out in the country like I do, when you see cars just kind of, especially in the country, creeping back and forth, you get pretty suspicious very fast because it's just not like a common thing people do out there. But it's not to say people don't just do it, especially looking for stuff, because it just happens. I'm guilty of it myself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily, the car could play a factor. It might not at all.
At the time, there was an intense interest in the strange encounters by the Virginia media, with several newspapers running stories on the attacks, wasting little time to highlighting how a few leads the police hadn't had. Mm-hmm. Now they're making fun of the police. So There's a guy dumping gas trying to kill people.
Yeah, and the police have
No
leads.
idea. Come on.
Amateurs.
This, in turn, led to a sense of anxiety that spread through the community. It caught like wildfire.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, there's a guy dumping poison gas in our houses and the cops can't catch him. There's a paranormal monster
Well, they didn't even
in high heels?
They didn't even go to paranormal yet, have they?
No, kind of. I mean, not really.
Okay, you're just filling in the gaps.
Yeah. So heightening how they had in turn. So eventually, this turned into giant groups of vigilantes roaming the streets at night
Sweet. That's pretty cool.
with baseball bats and rifles.
You know, we need to get back to those times.
As 1933 ended, the attacks appeared to slow down and perhaps even cases altogether. Then, however, a week or so later, they began to heat up once again.
They're back.
Around 10 p.m. on the evening of January 10th, 1934, the daughter of Homer Holton was at her parents' home in Haymarket Town with her young baby. While her husband was out of town, she heard strange noises coming from outside the property. Of more concern, she was hearing sounds which suggested somebody was trying to gain access into the property through the window. So she's terrified. She's home by herself with her tiny baby.
And someone's trying to break in.
You'd hear somebody trying to break in the window.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's the mad gasser.
Then, as Jay alluded, the aroma of strange gas reached her nostrils.
Oh, it really was.
And she started feeling, she said she felt as if a feeling of numbness was starting to spread through her body, and she was losing control. At this point, she reached for her baby and ran outside, away from the potentially toxic gas. Ultimately, both her and her child were unharmed and fine.
Okay.
Later that evening, another resident in the area, Mrs. Kinsey, reported a very similar incident, hearing the window rattle and then getting hit with this gas.
That aroma.
Once more, following the events of Haymarket Town, things seemed to quiet down again. However, on the evening of January 16th, another report surfaced. One night in question, Mrs. Duval was at home when she noticed a strange smell spreading through her house. Mr. Duval, he noticed a tall, extremely dark figure outside of the property and promptly gave chase to it. He hopped out, running like the Terminator after this thing.
T2.
Before he could reach it, though, he saw the figure get into a parked car and that was seemingly waiting for him, which had drove off into the distance.
Okay, so this is... Maybe it's not so supernatural.
When police examined the property in the surrounding area, they discovered what appeared to be the prints of a lady's high-heeled shoes in the ground, close to where Duval had seen the strange figure waiting for the car.
Now, what if the high heels are just to throw people off, too?
I have no idea.
Like, here's some footprints. You're going to be looking for a lady, and it's this dude the whole time gassing people. And
who's to say it's not a lady?
Well, I'm just saying, what if they are, like, wearing the high heels as cover? So
it could be.
So you are looking for a lady.
It could just be a lady in high heels.
It could be, or it could just be that.
3 nights later, while sitting at her home by her window in the evening of January 19th, Mrs. Campbell noticed strange gas spreading throughout the building, which caused her to immediately feel super unwell. Only 2 nights later, at around 9 p.m. on January 21st, Mr. and Mrs. Crawford noticed a strange smell spreading throughout their property. Only a moment later, both of them felt extremely ill. They managed to report the incident to the police, but nothing sufficient was found when they arrived. The attacks, though, continued. There's been dozens of people that have most of them haven't even seen anything. They just get this strong gaseous odor.
The only one that's seen anything was that guy that chased after her.
No, there's been people that have seen dark figures and
off in the distance. Nothing ever like...
And the windows messed with or tampered with. And, you know, that kind of stuff. During the following evening on January 22nd, 3 separate attacks unfolded with 3 separate properties and 2 miles apart during a course of an hour.
Wow.
So I want to say that again because that was a lot. 3 separate attacks on 3 separate properties that were each about 2 miles apart during the course of an hour.
Yeah. It's impressive. So it's got to be more than one. Well, not necessarily.
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
You can do that.
Yeah, you could.
It's good. I mean, you're going to be moving.
2 hours.
You're going to be booking.
2 hours takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes to walk or to jog.
2 hours takes 10 minutes to walk?
2 miles, sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
Moreover, upon reporting the incidents to the police, All three of the witnesses reported almost identical symptoms to each other, meaning the attacks were almost certainly connected. During one of the police responses, a strange, dark figure was seen and chased through the nearby woods. It disappeared, leaping away before it could be apprehended.
Okay. And I was way off. It's more like 14, 15 minutes for a 2-mile walk. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking.
I have no idea.
I was thinking like 1 mile.
The following morning at 4:30 a.m. of the same night, Mrs. Hartshell returned home after having visited her friend and discovered a strange gas-like smell filling her home. Even stranger, she discovered a small pile of wood that had been intentionally placed behind the front door inside the house. As if someone wished for her to prevent her or her family from leaving the property.
It wanted them there.
They couldn't get out.
Yeah.
If they were in the house, they couldn't get out.
Right. It wanted them in there.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps indicating that they believed the Herschel family was home at the time of the incident, as well as suggesting, more worrying for the family, that the attacks had been physically inside the home that night. Like they were there in the home with what they thought the family was in the house.
Yeah. Huh. You gassing them? Keeping them gassed in there? Is it coming?
These latest attacks encouraged the townsfolk to increase their patrols on the streets, just like Spring Hill Jack. With now troves, it was hard to not see people looking for the Mattoon gasser. General anxiety intensified even more so over the whole area. These vigilante-type patrols were very concerned to local police.
Okay.
They're like, they're going to kill each other.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to get spooked and start shooting.
Shooting at whoever's there.
Yeah. Who, to begin with, had viewed the patrols or had viewed the person behind these strange attacks as nothing more than harmless, if ill-advised prankster. But the cops are just like, it's just a guy being funny. Come on.
Is he though?
No.
No, I didn't think
This
so.
is typical American police. Like, not American police. American police departments are like, don't worry about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, until some guy, knocks on your door, you answer it. Hi, it's the gas man here to read your meter.
Gets blown away.
Yeah. You said gas man. I got him. It says like Suburban Propane on his shirt.
Starts dragging him around.
Oops.
Now, however, with the attacks increasing in intensity and with the distinct lack of leads of just who was behind him, they began to take these strange events a little more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the point where they're like, I guess we got to figure out who's doing this.
Yeah, maybe. Gosh.
Because they're just going to kill each other.
Yeah.
On the evening of January 25th at 9 p.m., Chester Sendin was at home in bed with his dog, and his dog became suddenly extremely agitated, like he's being poisoned. He began pacing and barking and had detected something or someone outside the property. He immediately got out of bed and reached for his gun, as you do.
Right.
He then headed to the front door, intent on apprehending whoever was trying to enter his home.
Okay.
As he opened the door, he immediately noticed a strange figure moving across his garden. He raised his weapon and he fired.
Okay.
So didn't even really take a second to look.
He just shot.
Mm-hmm. However, the shot missed the target, he said. And then he returned inside his home to retrieve more ammunition to reload the weapon.
Okay.
However, by the time he returned to the doorway, whoever was there was gone.
Yep. That's how this stuff works.
Well, they're not going to stand there.
Yeah, that's true.
You got missed by a rifle.
And you're just going to stay. What? He's gone.
Dang it.
Yeah, that would be kind of... You expect him there.
Ugh.
But it whizzes right by your head.
It was just some kid like hopping the fence to get to his girlfriend's house.
Or I got the cops calling me for not that specifically, but being in the neighbor's yard at my friend's grandma's house. She was our babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking for our baseball lady. She called the cops on us.
Well, at least she didn't shoot you.
That's right. Your Spring Hill Jack didn't get me, or the gasser didn't gas me in there.
So
that lady's probably the gasser.
Despite
She was
this,
kind of mean.
he reported to the incident to the police still, who arrived at the property to take his statement. They also made several significant discoveries that they inspected the area outside the property. And at least several clear footprints that led them to a ditch on the property. And then the property to the road where he fired at the intruder. Police also determined that the perpetrator had used the trees around the property for cover while he watched over the property before finally making his approach where he alerted the family's dog.
Okay.
So he could find his truck. He stood there watching the property forever.
Yeah.
just watching this guy's house. And then when he started making, that's when the dog freaked out.
Gotcha.
Moreover, when he visited the home in question later that evening, they were called seeing a strange man who was heading down the road. So when he came home, of course, whether it was the attacker or not remains open to debate. He just seen a guy that he didn't know.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
But he shot at him.
Yeah. Swerved. Yeah, with his car.
So I don't know that guy.
Yeah, got the mad gasser. That was Steven.
One more, a brief period of inactivity and then calm followed. Then, however, the flared up once more. On the evening of January 28th, Ed Stanley was at home, and he's actually the guy that made Stanley Cups.
No.
No, I have no idea.
I was going to say.
Ed Stanley was at home with his wife, he had 3 kids, when they noticed a sudden aroma of a strange gas-like substance. Almost immediately, they all began to feel dramatically unwell, causing them to venture outside and get away from this seemingly toxic gas. As they did so, they all reported to see dark figures heading away from their house towards the Blue Ridge Mountains
Mm.
and the Shenandoah River.
I was going to say it, but
Seeing this, Stanley returned inside his property to retrieve his shotgun.
mm-hmm. And when he comes back out, it's
However,
gone.
by this time, the figures had ran way, way too far away.
Yeah.
But at least they at least seen 4 figures.
Okay.
So this time they had 4 people up and around the house.
Not just one.
However, sorry, I already read that. In the bizarre, slightly unsettling twist, though, Stanley insisted that he could hear strange voices coming from the surrounding woodland for several hours afterwards, as if there were people just standing in there chanting or talking.
Bigfoot, samurai shatter?
That's the smell. It's skunky.
Oh.
During the evening of January 30th, Stanley heard strange noises outside his home once again. This time, with all the previous events still fresh in his mind, he grabbed his gun immediately and went outside to confront whoever or whatever was there. However, by this time, the attackers were no longer there, apparently scared off by the homeowner brandishing a shotgun.
Sometimes that's all you need. Just wave a gun around the air.
Especially, I mean, a double barrel's so impractical, but it just looks like...
It's impractical unless you're like 5 feet from the thing.
I want a 10 gauge double barrel.
Gosh. Is it with the double trigger where you can launch them both at the
I
same
was just listening to a podcast that didn't understand how gauges work.
Okay.
And they're like comparing a 28 gauge because that's a rare round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would he need a 28 gauge? That's so big. You know, why didn't he just have a 12 gauge or something? Like,
No, the
opposite.
yeah, smaller number,
Opposite.
bigger bullet.
I think like 28 gauges are like for rabbits and squirrels and stuff like that. So you
Okay.
don't just shred them,
Or turning the dust.
Mhm.
Yeah.
turn them into a sock full of holes. 3 nights later, on the evening of February 3rd, the attack seemingly approached their end. Another distinct incident. On this night in question, Mr. and Mrs. Skagas,
Okay.
along with their 5 friends, were in their home when they noticed a sickly, sweet smell entering their property. They immediately reported the activity. The officers went to investigate the property. As in most encounters previously, no major discoveries were made, and they might indicate who or whatever was behind these attacks.
Mm.
Remaking our remarks on the incident to the local press, Sheriff Williamson stated that no amount of imagination could account for the severity of illnesses experienced by the Shaggans and their personal guest. Indeed, Williams offered as much information as he could, looking to get to the bottom of these bizarre events. Not least at the least one person in the Sagan's home suffered hallucinogenic effects due to the gas.
Hmm.
So they started tripping.
So this is a little bit different. Or maybe they were just exposed to it longer.
So either or, you could take your pick.
Okay.
That's where most researchers go, is that they sat because they were playing, like they were having a house party.
Yeah.
So they were sitting in there like, and then they all started feeling very, very ill before they got up. And he was like staring at the walls.
What does this remind you of?
All these squares make a circle.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Does this remind you of anything you ever experienced?
Oh, in the paint booth.
Yeah.
Oh, no. When for anybody who don't know what Jay's talking about, we were in a paint booth and the fan wasn't on
Paint booth for painting cars.
for painting cars. We got really high.
You and
My brothers.
your grandpa, right?
No.
He wasn't in there?
No, he was.
Or was your dad in there?
No, mom came in And we probably have died if Mom wouldn't have came in.
Yeah.
Because we were like, whoa!
Painting.
Mm-hmm.
It was just you and your brothers?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why the fan wasn't on.
I thought maybe your dad was
or
in
a
there
door
too.
was open or nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. So
No.
you were just inhaling paint fumes
And the
for
second we
how
got-
long?
Hour. I don't know. We lost a lot of brain cells.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the second she opened the door, what happened?
no, when we got outside,
Yeah.
we all started vomiting the second we hit fresh air.
Yeah.
Because your body's like, there's so many toxins in you.
You didn't even.
There's so many toxins.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, that's maybe they. I don't know. It's a good story.
There's just these were the nighttime house painters, and they kept getting the house numbers wrong.
Yeah.
They were dyslexic. There you go. They were
figured it out.
dyslexic.
So they were
So they're
painting.
painting the house, and people start freaking out and pulling out guns, and they run.
Yeah, because there's painters in their house.
They wear heels so they can paint higher.
That's right. It's stilts.
I'm not even going to read the rest. We're
Yeah,
done.
we figured it out.
We're done.
This is too easy, guys. They're just outside house painters, and their fumes are leaking in the windows.
Nighttime outside house painters.
Yeah, it's nighttime outside house painters.
It start at 10 p.m. to get away those pesky HOAs.
Right, yeah, because you can't have a ladder on your front lawn during daylight.
So one of the witnesses, Chagas' nephew, claimed that he felt trapped inside the house after he noticed the presence of the gas.
Mm.
So, like, what they're leading to is like panic or dread or whatever.
Isn't that from like some movie where they're stuck in the room? They open the window, it's just brick walls, and they open the door, brick walls.
I have no idea, but he wasn't actually trapped.
No, yeah.
But he was, whatever the gas was doing, he was like,
Makes him feel like
I can't get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't leave. And there's a door right there, bud. We can leave.
can't use it. It don't work. Lead nowhere.
It's not clear if he had become trapped because he was panicked or the gas had temporarily incapacitated his mind. So they don't know what really caused, which way the feeling was caused.
Right.
Is he having an anxiety/panic attack? If anybody's ever had them, I've had a couple of them where you're just dread sets in fast.
I thought I was dying.
Yeah.
I couldn't even breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I had one in my life and woke me up out of a dead sleep, and I had to crawl I crawled to my mom and dad's house from my house. Crawled all the way up to their bedroom and wake them up.
For everybody at home, that sounds like a long way.
It's not far.
No, but I'm just saying, when you say that, it sounds like it's a mile.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's
probably 100 feet.
yeah. I mean, it's a house right beside.
It still is.
Yeah.
It still is a distance to crawl, but
Yeah, it was a weird.
the way you said it just made it sound like it was.
I couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
I couldn't even stand up. It was like my whole chest was caved in, and I could hardly breathe. It was weird. I thought I was dying. This is what death was like. That's what's all the thing going in my head. I'm dying. Desperately crawl to him. Sorry.
No, you're good. So the New England, the Virginia cases slowly start petering out at this point. Nobody really knows what happens, but a lot of the cases have these high-heeled woman's shoes, like marks in them. There was also, a lot of people thought it was an insecticide. Some of the people that smelled it said it was very, very similar to an insecticide, like pest spray smell.
Okay.
They couldn't find any chemical containers. There was no substance really to analyze. It was just weird. Some of the people that say it just was like, it smelled like pesticide.
What if it was just a peeping Tom with really, really bad breath?
Now,
And he's just
then this is even the Mad Gasser Mattoon.
yeah,
This is his predecessor.
passing it all along.
No, predecessor before,
Oh, before.
right?
Okay, that's right. I think so.
Yeah,
No,
pred.
yeah,
Pred,
yeah. I think so.
the predict
I think you're right.
to be before.
Yes.
No, so, but there's just some connections to Spring Hill Jack. Now, going back to Spring Hill Jack, some people may think that his scary looking appearance may have been the effects, and his paranormal abilities may have been the effects of a rich elite dressing up to attack women using chloroform gas
Ah.
to cause, or some other gas to cause a hallucinogenic effect. So these bulging, glowing red eyes and these looks and everything like that.
Yeah, but excuse me, sorry. But that doesn't explain some of the ones though where like the girl like having her door knocked on, and she just opens it and it's boom there. You know what I mean? So I could maybe see some of the cases, sure, but
By then, if he does it for the first several, by then panic spreads and then panic starts taking over.
Right.
So then your imagination takes over.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the
Just
mind
saying.
is a powerful thing.
So, after it ended, in the fall of 1944, in the town of Mattoon, Iowa, was subject to an almost identical gas attack to the Virginia ones.
Wow.
So this is where the mad gas of Mattoon comes from.
Starts, yeah.
Once more, these incidents were documented by multiple newspapers at the time they occurred. But they the particular details rundown became from a book called Mysterious America, The Ultimate Guide of National's Weirdest Wonders, Strange Sports, and the Creepiest Creatures by
Adam Benedict.
Lauren Coleman.
Oh, okay. Darn
Close.
it.
According to the newspaper reports at the time, the first documented incident of these strange attacks at Mattoon occurred on August 31st, 1944, when a local resident, Urban Rath.
Urban Wrath.
My great uncle's name was Urban, like Urban, spelled the same way.
Like Urban Meyer.
I don't know.
He was a football coach. That was just terrible.
He awoke due to a strange odor creeping through his property. At the same time, noticing he felt really unwell. Moments later, he began to feel intense nausea and even started vomiting, prompting him to wake up his wife and say they have to get out of the house. She immediately thought the smell was coming from a gas leak from their oven, so she went down to go check it.
Mm-hmm.
However, when she did so, she realized she was paralyzed and unable to move.
Okay.
She's like, I'll go check the oven.
Wait a
Urban,
minute.
I can't move.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I've used that excuse before.
I know, and then
I can't change the laundry. I can't move.
Then I start singing
Singing.
the Rise and Shine.
Oh, yeah. Then all of a sudden I can move.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I only had to do it one time, then you guys get out of bed pretty promptly.
It's been a while.
Eventually, sorry, where was I? They both remained where they were until the substance in the air, whatever it was, eventually dissipated and they regained movement. So they were an older couple, and he was having trouble walking. He couldn't stand. He couldn't see clear, and she was completely paralyzed from this gas. Several minutes later, the abrupt effect of the gas finally wore off when they got clean air back into their lungs, and they both returned to feeling as they should. However, they were profoundly disturbed by the events, as they should be, so they called the cops. Several hours later, on the other side of town, a young mother was awakened by the sound of her baby daughter coughing violently in her bed. However, when she got up to go get her, she found doing so took considerable effort, as if she was dragging weights.
Okay.
So she's gassed too.
Yeah.
And she's like her brain, she's in a weird fog where she feels like she's dragging weights.
Like her whole body's heavy. Yeah.
She eventually, though, managed to reach her and took both she and her daughter soon felt relieved once they got outside.
Okay. So they got clean, fresh air in them.
So she was dragging weights to go get her daughter and drug them outside. And then once they breathed a little bit outside, everything calmed down. Several other similar reports occurred throughout the day. However, in the events of the following evening that put the town on notice and eventually total out of the ordinary was unfolding around them. Around 11 p.m. on the evening of September 1st, Mrs. Kenry was awoken by the sickening sweet odor filling her room, with her and her daughter Dorothy were sleeping. To begin with, she believed the overpowering smell was coming from the flowers outside her bedroom window, so she attempted to return to sleep. However, when she began to lose the feeling in her legs, she realized the source of the odor was likely much more ominous. At this point, she was unable to get out of bed. She called out for help. Her sister, Mrs. Reddy, heard her cries, as did several of her neighbors due to the window being open, all of whom rushed to his sister.
Okay.
And so they're all she's screaming, help, help! And, people are coming to save her because she's paralyzed. Help. Several of the neighbors searched around the perimeter of the property, and nothing that would suggest anyone had been anywhere near her home. The police had also found nothing out of the ordinary, and they attended the property a short time after. After this, Mrs. Kenry, his husband, Bert, returned home following his shift as a taxi driver. As he was entering the property, he was certain he saw a strange man crouching low near one of their windows. He immediately headed over to the figure, who turned and ran, disappearing into the night. He did manage to get detailed description, though, offering the individual was tall, man, dressed in a dark clothing with a tight-fitting cap. Although Mrs. Kennery suffered from the uncomfortable burning sensation in her mouth and throat, as well as her lips, she was otherwise unhurt. And when the police suggest, in part because the family had a substantial amount of money at the home, this incident was an attempted robbery, and the perpetrators were trying to basically gas her out.
Right, so they can get in there.
And then they got caught, so they ran away mid-robbery.
Hmm.
This was, though, the first of many of the strange cases of the town of Mattoon. The several very similar reports reached the police over the coming days. However, it was the encounter on the evening of September 5th that resulted in the locals, then the state, and eventually national media beginning to take this intensive interest in the evenings unfolding in Illinois. Not least as the police appeared to have located a piece of physical evidence at the location of the incident. Finally,
We got something tangible to tie to somebody.
it was a spring heel.
No, come on. What was it actually?
Around 10 p.m. the night before, Beulah Cords and her husband, Carl, arrived home after an evening out. They entered their property through the back door and spent several minutes inside before Beulah had made her way to the front door of the property in order to unlock it. However, before she did, she noticed a strange white cloth sitting on the porch. She had not seen that material before. She was certain she had not left it there. She opened the door and made her way to the cloth. As soon as she picked it up, she could tell that it was soaked in some kind of liquid.
Uh-oh.
Bizarrely, though, she then brought the cloth up to her face in an attempt to identify what it might be.
Oh, no.
She felt a sudden jolt to her body, something she would later describe as an electric shock.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling quickly spread through her whole body as she became temporarily paralyzed, falling to the ground. Next thing you know, she was violently sick, throwing up, covered in a burning sensation in her throat, mouth, and lips. Similar to what you might recall with Mrs. Kernley and some of the other cases.
Right, yeah.
Desperate, despite her mouth actually bleeding at one point, she recovered completely with no apparent lasting ill effects after about an hour and a half.
Gosh, I wonder what it was. What was on there?
Something tough, like formaldehyde affixes to... So, like mustard gas or formaldehyde, those chemicals affix to moisture. And that's why they're so bad in your mouth, nose, and stuff like that. Because it's pulling the moisture out of your cell, and it burns. Believe me, it burns. So the police arrived at the property a short time later. They searched around the property, resulting in the discovery of a skeleton key, as well as an empty lipstick tube, although they were uncertain if these items were a coincidence or not. When it was suggested that the soaked cloth was likely used to incapacitate the family's pet dog, which found unusually to be asleep on the porch, they couldn't wake it up, and they're like, could that have been used to knock out the dog? This suggestion, though, moreover, was behind these strange events had been watching the family for at least several days. At this point, however, the police started to realize that something strange was happening around the whole town, and the robbery was highly unlikely to be the motivating factor in these events of the evenings. Indeed, only several hours later after this, a short distance away, Mrs. Burnell reported hearing strange noises outside her window before she noticed the same strange, sickly odor filling her home. She also reported feeling an intense feeling of nausea and experiencing temporary paralysis falling as she was trying to get out of the house. The following day, there was half a dozen reports of almost identical nature. So it happened all over town all night.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess they're right. It kind of rules out a robbery unless they had a sophisticated team. This was just their technique.
Witnesses started to claim, though, seeing a very, very tall, slender man running away from the properties after they had gone outside to investigate the sources of the smell.
So it keeps getting, caught. That's kind of weird.
Is it? Spring Hill Jack wanted to be seen.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it wants to be seen, but it also it's like it's trying to gas them just so they come out and...
Look at it. It's part of the ritual.
Maybe.
Another witness reported even stranger details, claiming to notice a blue vapor-like substance entering their home, as well as hearing strange buzzing sounds as if something was coming from some kind of machine. The reports continued. More and more details surfaced. Many people began reporting damage to windows and window screens, people cutting holes in windows, popping windows out of their things so that they either shove stuff into them for the gas.
I mean, whatever it is, it's physically happening. It's not like something supernatural, to a degree. They're opening the windows. There's
they
evidence.
Have to get in. while others claimed to locate footprints on the ground next to their respective properties. Even stranger and more concerning, many newspaper articles at the time claimed that several witnesses reported feeling and sensation similar to electrical shock running through their bodies during these encounters.
The same thing.
Almost all the people who would claim to experience an encounter with this mysterious mad gasser stated that they'd felt either nauseous, temporary paralysis, an intense burning in mouth and throat.
Sounds terrible.
Despite the information of potential witnesses, however, the police had little to go on. They offered to the suspect as a single individual, likely better than the basic, or likely with a better understanding of basic chemistry than the average person. They're saying that they probably had some to mix. He's either mixing chemicals at the window.
He's a chemist,
or transport, or at least
has the knowledge of
more than a normal
person.
Because I believe this is the time where pharmacists were still called chemists.
Okay.
Because they're still in the UK called chemist.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. You don't go to the pharmacy, you go to the chemist.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's just propagandized here. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's just a slightly.
Here, let me mix up these chemicals and put it in your body to mask whatever symptoms you got. There you go. Healed.
At one point, there was a serious discussion about offering us a reward for the perpetrator's capture, but fears of increased vigilantism caused this idea to be dropped.
Okay. What are they afraid of? The people are hurting each other?
Yeah, basically the same thing with the other cases. That
Yeah.
they're just going to accidentally kill each other because they're going to get scared. Like,
Spooked.
man!
Tall guy. Bam. Dead.
Just Mr. Light.
Oops. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Just walking down the street, but he was tall.
He's just too tall.
Several locals organized patrol groups. They began to walk in the streets at night, always carrying firearms.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, the police were quickly to disperse these groups, all of which provided to be a hindrance to the ongoing investigation, the police claimed.
Vigilantes.
Late on the evening of September 8th, between 10 and 11 p.m., Rona Durskis was sleeping in her home with her mother, Violet, when a strange noise was coming outside her property that had woke her. She listened once more. The sound was coming from the bedroom window. Violet had heard them too and was now awake. They both leaped out of bed, with Violet heading to the front door, just in time to see a tall man running away from the property. Roma, on the other hand, was given into the sudden intensive feeling of sickness and vomited on the spot. She also found that she had difficult moving, as if she was being dragging weights behind her for a short time, almost falling.
Same symptoms. So it's got to be the same gas, whatever it is.
Whether it's maybe the ratios are slightly different.
Yeah, or just people have different reactions to it, you know?
The mysterious attacker struck again several hours later, around 2 a.m., in the early hours of September 9th. The several residents in the house woke up feeling intensely ill with strange gas pouring into their property. This time they seen the gas.
Oh, okay.
On that same night, a short time later, a principal at the local school, Mrs. Frances Smith, awoke feeling unwell and with an intense sickly smell. Even stranger, she claimed to see, coming through her window, a thin blue smoke-like vapor.
Ooh.
And it was moving across the room, as well as the sounds of something buzzing outside. Perhaps once more, suggesting some kind of machine or device was being used to pump the gas in.
Okay.
The following day, on September 10th, multiple other reports reached the police with similar details to this. So the gas is getting more intense.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see it's not clear anymore.
Either they're running out of materials to use or they're switching the formula up.
I think they're turning it up. Because people are getting more sick.
Gotcha.
Like, people are fully being, dropping on the spot, being paralyzed. It was around this time that the FBI finally got involved. Although the reason for doing so remains unclear, as their assistance was not requested by any Illinois officials. The FBI just showed up.
Interesting. That's a clue.
In fact, at the same time, the Commissioner of Public Health of the region, Thomas Wright, claimed publicly that there was no doubt the gassing maniac exists and had made several attacks, as many of the reports were nothing more than hysteria. Moreover, the fear was out of proportion and the menace was relatively harmless gas.
Okay.
So the city, the head guy of the state for public health is like, yes, there was some gas attacks. The gas is harmless. Most of this is hysteria. You guys are just freaking out over nothing.
Yeah.
The whole town was, he said this, the whole town was only sickened with hysteria.
Wow. So it sounds like this guy might be guilty. He might be the gasser.
But while he's saying this, the FBI are showing up hunting.
Oh, yeah. He's covering his tracks. What do you mean, FBI? Why are you here? It's harmless gas. We've already determined that. Right, guys?
What made the whole situation even stranger were the comments by the local chief of police about 2 days later when he stated that there had likely been no attacks at all, and that most could indeed be explained by just hysteria. You're just freaking out. You accidentally smell a strange odor from an industrial facility nearby your house, and you're freaking out, and there's no giant tall man running away with blue vapor.
No, this is giving us hints. The government likes to lie. Authority likes to lie. This is a sign that they're lying.
So as it went on, it appeared by some, or at least at the time, authorities were preparing to wash their hands of the strange events completely and simply deny that it had ever happened. But reports continued to be flowing in. On the evening of September 10th, Mrs. Fitzpatrick noticed strange gas entering her home from her kitchen window. Within moments, she felt completely ill, collapsed on the floor. When he came to aid her, her husband experienced similar symptoms, and they hit the floor. They both were to recover shortly after. Several others, almost identical encounters, were reported in the same evening. So they're just hysteria. It's just hysteria.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Then the following 2 days were encounter-free. No reports at all. On the evening of September 13th, though, the final encounter unfolded when Berta Birch noticed a strange gas entering her bedroom. Strangely, at least, when we take in all the details from the other encounters, Birch claimed the attacker was a woman dressed in men's clothing.
Aha!
When she and her son went outside to investigate the following day, they discovered it appeared to be impressions of high heel shoes directly below her window where the gas was entering in.
How did she know it was a woman in man's clothing?
Because she was at 1944.
Yeah.
She's in her mind. There's no way a man could be wearing a woman's shoes. Keep in mind, this is 2025. We live in a very different world.
No, I know that, but even back then,
No, there was cross-dressers or transgenders or whatever.
whichever one, yeah.
I mean, whatever they were doing, because cross-dressing does not necessarily mean you're a transgender.
No,
But
not
I'm
at
saying
all.
there were both at the time.
Yeah, 40s, yeah. Especially, yeah. It all existed. It always has.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that but in her mind, it could not be.
That's impossible. Like, no, very, very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. With the suggestion in mind, it also is worth noting that many of the male residents, certainly those fit enough to have been behind such a spurt of attacks, were stationed at varying military bases across the United States. So a lot of these women, because it's 1944, a lot of these homes have no adult men presence.
Right.
And that's why women moved back in with their moms during this time and that kind of stuff.
Because we ripped them out of the homes to send them off to war.
Yeah, because it's Second World War. There might be another reason to believe that the Mad Gasser Mattoon, as the newspaper reports often called them, could very well be a woman. So one of the big thoughts behind this being a female was being extremely upset about men being drafted. Or men being, not drafted, going to World War II, fighting, dying, leaving. So they were using supposedly a harmless gas to cause panic to get their men home. So one thought is it was a housewife locally doing this. So this town is being attacked. The men need to come home to protect their town. I'm not saying it's correct one. I'm just saying that's put out there.
I would like to check. How about we go check underneath all these homes and look for the connected underground tunnel system
Now, it's funny you mentioned that. So, the FBI was watching this whole thing the whole time it was happening.
Okay.
The FBI was never requested to be there. This is not a typical FBI thing that they do.
Right.
One of the thoughts is this was a government experiment.
That's what I'm thinking.
Testing on a town that had very little men, just women and children.
That's what I'm thinking.
To see what they could get, what the gas ratio was to knock out and not be noticed.
Well, too, what if there's something else mixed in with the gas? Maybe it's not there to knock them out and render them unconscious, rather than administering some kind of sickness or disease.
It could be any
through
of
the
it.
gas.
It could be any of it.
Like the Tuskegee experiments.
Yeah, it could be any of it.
It's something.
And that's the FBI was there basically
monitoring it.
to monitor it.
And I wonder if the different types of gases had different things in them so they can kind of track and see how it spreads maybe throughout town or, but yeah, maybe this is a way for them to spread, biological warfare on our own people. And well, the government wouldn't do that, would they? Check out DW's Conspiracy Shack to find that out.
So this has been Spring-Heeled Jack, the Virginia Gasser, and the Mangasser Mattoon. All kind of one. And why they're all kind of combined together is the weird heel like thing, this tall, gaunt, dark figure.
Yeah, it's a lot of overlap.
Yeah, and I've seen everything where people say. So I mean, for all of these, I've seen people say that this is a ritual costume that has been used for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And it all is roughly this, not, it changes throughout time, but it's like professional ritual garb for whatever group this is, whatever organization or secret society or whatever this is. And a part of is causing fear as a part of the ritual. All of these attacks, and there's actually others. There's several things like this that happen in Arkansas, Oklahoma, that we didn't even get to. Which maybe we'll get to later in the season.
Yeah.
And the thought is that this is some secret society or some ritual society that needs a public fear scare as a part of one of their powerful rituals. So whether, it was, he just shot fire, like the Spring-Heeled Jack, for example, shot fire, and the goal was not to kill that lady.
Just
so when she died, you're like, crap.
Yeah. Too far.
How are you going to tell anybody? Like
in Monsters Inc., they just want to scare the kids and collect their screams.
Yes.
They're not there to kill them.
Yeah, except I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
Yeah.
What is it? Bridgewater, Wellwater,
something like that.
Troll.
I don't remember, but either way,
You talk for a minute and I'll look it up.
Okay, it's a very similar situation, but well, with a lot of overlap too. But I do think there might be. I like the I was going to say government overlap or government angle here, but I beyond the government. I mean, obviously, even in light of recent events, it's made it more apparent. There's some, but there's
Water
some
News.
Water News. Okay, there's definitely an entity that's overhead of our government that's apparent now that makes the decisions for our government. I'm assuming that's around the world too. If it is like a ritualistic, whether it's a costume or whatever, maybe some occultic practice where they transform into this type of being or type of shadowy creature being. I don't know. That can go out. Maybe they can like remotely control it.
So here's my thing. I really think, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think this is just a guy, and I even think in all of these cases, if it is one society or a similar thing in several societies, I think some of the early ones are planted stories to get it kicked off.
I mean, that's always a possibility too.
Where you say he spat fire, say he just appeared and vanished. So then that's already in the zeitgeist.
Right.
If this is ritual magic. And we've talked... we haven't talked about ritual magic in a while, but like when we look at stuff like... like they did with Hopkins... the Hopkinsville. What's his
Goblins?
Names? Yes, but they did when they were looking into it all. The Newkirks.
Oh, okay.
Where they were doing that big public ritual stuff and involving the audience in it and stuff like that. I do think societies, whether it's government or the people controlling government or even...
You talking about that thing on Netflix too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's ritual magic.
Yeah.
And getting more and more people involved in ritual magic. So this...
Whether they know it or not.
Whether they know it or not. So that's not a new idea.
No.
It's changed how they do it. But fear mongering is one. So making this fake I don't think these things are paranormal. But I do think they have some ritual aspects to it, which leads to the paranormal.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that.
And so I think even Spring-Heeled Jack or even some of the gassers, they could have been plants. And the FBI got involved either because they knew that it's an occult thing happening.
It's an asset.
They knew or it's their buddies doing it.
Right, yeah. What they call, what's his name? The guy with the list. He was a government asset. He cannot be prosecuted. We'll set him free. That was back in the early 2010s.
So yeah, what are you going with then?
man, I don't want to put my finger or put it etch it in stone, but I do think it's some kind of supernatural entity that may be human either controlled or human piloted or human created. I don't think it's just but I don't, at least as far as Springheel Jack is concerned. With the other side of it, I do think I don't think it's just some random person doing it. I think it's a coordinated, like you said, ritual or a coordinated attack on people. Yeah. That's what I think. And the gassers may not have been supernatural, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past it being supernatural or using some sort of supernatural vehicle to get this stuff accomplished. So I don't know if that's even a full-on answer, but it's weird stuff, man. It's weird.
So we want to say thank you to all the listeners.
Yeah.
Start of season 8.
It's wild.
Over 400 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Gosh. And
That's
we count the other shows. It's
a lot. A lot of episodes. A lot of things we talked about.
Yeah. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm forgetting stuff because I was researching stuff for season 8. And I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Wait a minute. We've done this before.
I got to check our stuff and I'm like, oh,
we have done that.
All right, we have talked about that. But no, seriously, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate your love and support. It's great. It's been great. Looking forward to 2026. We're not doing nearly as many conferences, but we're going to be doing a lot more live shows around the country.
If you'd like to see us in a town near you, please reach out and email us, and we'll just reach out and make it known that
especially if
there's interest in your area.
Especially if you own a place we can do a live show in.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Like if you own a bar or a restaurant or anything with
bowling alley?
A bowling alley. We love doing them in bowling alleys.
Yeah, have experience there.
Yeah. All right, I have been the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I've been JClone250.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to Cryptids the Corn podcast. Remember, the best way to support the show is share it with a friend. But if you are craving more of the J clones
and more from Mr. E,
there's always extra content on Patreon
and our paid member space on cryptidsofthecorn.com.
We'll catch you next time with more exciting, fun, and informative information. Bye.